Manchester City have signed yet another wonder kid. Claudio Echeverri, the 17-year-old Argentinian wonder kid, over at River Plate, is, according to Fabrizio Romano and all various trustworthy reports, now a Manchester City player. And it's a really exciting signing, this one. I'm going to go through today what this could potentially mean and why you guys should actually be paying attention to this transfer. I know it's very easy to write off as another City Football Group 1, but this seems to me, on the surface anyway, a little bit different from that. It's very, very exciting. Guys, please do give this video a like immediately at the top of this video. Give it a subscribe as well if you are new here. And I want to say, before I dive into this too much as well, I want to say please do check out the latest competition over on Football Prizes. Do you want to win a Vincent Kompany signed and framed shirt? Of course you do. El Capitan there, Vincent Kompany. If so, head over to Football Prizes, click the link in the description right now. There's 299 entries available, 74 tickets sold so far. Get involved now, Blues, if you want to win. And of course, this is a one-of-a-kind prize made just for Football Prizes. It's got LEDs around the frame as well. It's the kind of thing that you'd have in your bedroom, your living room, wherever, as a tribute to one of our greatest of all time. And there's other instant win prizes as well to be available. UK based to enter. Good luck. You also, there's a Kun Aguero shirt as well, which is, if you get ticket number 160, if no one's claimed that, you get a chance to win Aguero shirt. Even the company shirt, if that comes out as well. Fingers crossed one of you guys can win. I would be buzzing for you. Head over to Football Prizes right now. £3.95 to enter, which, you know, it's the cost of a Starbucks, and it's absolutely nothing. Good luck to all of those who enter. Now, let's get back to this transfer. Look, immediately, I'm going to talk about the comparisons that we made. I'm already seeing someone in the comments, Jack, saying, whatever happened to Keiki, the Brazilian lad that we signed? And there'll be other people that we sign that you compare him to and so on. And it's very easy to be cynical when we sign a young talent, given the reputation of the City Football Group and how often players come to City but never see the light of day or get a kick. I think you have to really pay attention to the merits of the player on an individual basis. Now, Keiki at the time was very much... he wasn't like a $30 million player, which I think Claudio Echeverri is. That is the difference here. We've got a player who's much more highly rated, and much more highly rated indeed. In fact, I think he stood out because at the Under-17 World Cup, I think he was voted third best player there. I think he scored like 5 goals in 4 games. He got a hat-trick against Brazil at youth level as well. He stood out because he feels a bit different. This is not even close to the level that Keiki was reaching, so he feels different immediately. So if you want to know what's actually going on here, I'll jump over to the details of this transfer. Claudio Echeverri has been essentially confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. Here we go. This is the details. It said, understand that Manchester City and River Plate are now signing all contracts for Claudio Echeverri deal. 14.5 million euros net fixed fee to River, 9 million add-ons performance related, and add-ons only related to player, not club titles. So there we go. It looks like it's basically done, which is all very, very exciting, isn't it? There's more details going around. Where is it? It's all the contracts are being signed. According to Sport Witness, Echeverri will join City on a 6-year deal, around 30 million euros. The figure will exceed the player's 25 million release clause with 5 million more as a goodwill gesture, which is interesting. City aren't stupid here, by the way. They do things like that with River Plate because they know that River, on Argentinian side, are blessed with talent, and there's always a chance for the next superstar. So they will sweeten the deal every now and then. And that's also a good sign that they see this guy as a possibility. As a possible future first-teamer. One possibility apparently being evaluated is City sending Claudio Echeverri on loan to Girona in December 24 when the 18-year-old will leave River Plate for Europe. Is he 18 now or is he 17? Last time I checked he was 17, but let me just double check right now. He's just turned 18 yesterday. That's why I thought he was 17. He turned 18 yesterday, basically. So I think the most likely situation here is that he is going to probably stay for the best part of a year out on loan. It's because he's 18 years old. He is only a baby. He's only played a little bit of first-team football. Now, what kind of player is he? Now, I have been watching footage of him for a few weeks now. And, of course, I've not seen him play a full game because it's very difficult. But what I've seen of him is very, very exciting. He's immediately capable of impacting the first team. That's what stands out to me. And even though he's not big, he's not tiny either. A little bit slight, but he sort of reminds me of when Phil Foden first broke through. In terms of, you could see that he was small, but you could see that eventually he'd get strong enough to handle first team football. I look at someone like Rico Lewis, and I think he's really small, like 5'5", and I always think his height might affect him a little bit. And I remember thinking the same about Brahim Diaz as well, where his height might have held him back a little bit. It hasn't, thankfully, because he's obviously at Real Madrid now, and Rico's doing well. But I don't think Claudio Echeverri is that short. I think he's a couple of inches taller than that. So you're more along the lines of a young kind of Foden, where he looked a little bit slender, but hopefully you could tell that he would grow into it. The thing for me that sets him apart here is he's clearly tenacious as well. He's got that Argentinian will to win. And he's been making headlines since he was very young as well. So he's absolutely totally fine with the pressure. He's got no qualms about stepping up at a higher level, and he's done it ever since he was a kid, grabbing headline after headline after headline. And his style of play, well, the comparison, obviously, when you're an Argentinian number 10, is always Messi. I don't think he's going to be Lionel Messi levels. I really don't think he is, because he hasn't got the electric pace that Messi has. Like, Messi was electric, and he does seem, though, to have really a good turn of pace. His technical ability is absolutely excellent. He's right-footed, by the way, so he's not Messi in that sense. But he's sort of kind of classic Argentinian number 10. The enganche role, basically. If I probably butchered that, but that's what I wrote down in my notes. Think about the classic number 10s. You got your likes of, I don't know, who are the people? Like Ortega, Pablo Aimar, Marcelo Gallardo, those classic kind of swashbuckling number 10s who just create trouble everywhere they go. The ones that you want to watch. He reminds me of those. Less of Messi, who's sort of like a complete wide forward or false 9. More of a number 10 that way. I know Messi can play that as well. But this guy is essentially seen as the next big thing in Argentine football. In fact, he's seen as a bigger talent at the same age than Julian Alvarez was, which is really, really, really exciting. I read some reports on him. This is what some journalists said about him. These are journalist quotes. Talented with excellent close control of dribbling skills, owing to an exceptional first touch. He's a first-rate passer of the ball and can score too. He's a classic number 10. El Diablito is his name. I think that's the little devil, isn't it? Has no roof, no ceiling, because he's old enough to not have one. That's according to youth scout Luis Pereira. He said he can play in 6 months in the first season, and with a good preseason surrounded by players who understand that he's a kid, that sports soccer was going to give. I'm waffling here. Basically, he's really, 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 really highly rated. We don't need him to be Messi, but could he be? I don't know, Foden level? Could he be a Mahrez level? That would be wonderful, wouldn't it? Because you're talking about a world-class player there. And that's what I get excited by here. So I do think this is going to happen. I do think this is a legit transfer. And I do think we're about to sign, a very special footballer, potentially. I like it. I think City have been very aggressive getting these young players through these days, and I think it's a sensible policy to get these young players. I mean, if anyone who's compared to Ortega gets my seal of approval. Now, I know there's cynicism around the Girona loan, but you got to bear in mind that Girona are the best La Liga club right now. They're at a high level, and Echeverri will not come straight into the Manchester City's first team. He might do. I mean, you never know. He might have a sensational few months at River Plate. He genuinely could do, and then he could come and join Manchester City in pre-season training and go, that's the plan I heard, by the way. The plan that I heard personally, because I know someone involved in this transfer. That's a genuinely bit exclusive news for you there. I heard that the plan for City is to sort of keep him on loan at River Plate until the summer. And then, when he joins Manchester City, have a closer look at him in pre-season. And then after that, they'll decide what his future holds. It could be that they decide way in advance of then, if he doesn't look like he's progressing that much in the, River. They could decide that they'll load him earlier on in the summer, but I don't think this is a cakey situation at all. I think he's much better than that. I think he's rated much higher. I think he's electric. The thing is, for me, when I watch Cakey, when I watch people like him, he was always quite passive. He didn't have the aggression to his game, I think, that you need to reach the high end of football. I don't think he had that. Where Echeverri, he's got a bit of that Argentinian tenacity, which, look, I immediately watch him. And the thing that also stands for me, is that his decision-making seems excellent. Like, some of his passing is really, really good. He beats people for fun. He's really smart with use of the ball. He can finish. He can dribble. He seems reasonably two-footed as well. Like, he just seems a very, very, very exciting talent. Now, of course, it might be an awful long time before we see him at City. we got to be realistic on that. It could be that it takes a little bit of time, but that is fine. But when you've got a guy who's been touted as the next Messi, you've got to pay attention. And obviously, there's always a new Messi. But a lot of the players that are new Messis, Aymar, Ortega, Marcelo Gallardo, people like that, you'd take them, wouldn't you? You'd take an 18-year-old version of them because they were very good footballers. And even if he falls short of that Messi level, he's going to. You might still land at the level of those players. And that would be very exciting for me. I would be very excited to see him in a Manchester City shirt. I'm trying to find a little bit more information about him. The one thing I do like, by the way, is that Manchester City are... Manchester... That was like the Jeff Goldblum Jurassic Park when he goes, he does that weird laugh. I kind of got tongue-tied then. But the thing about Man City's approach here I really like is that I think... they're really smart with how they treat, they treat clubs like River Plate because they understand that River Plate are an institution. They are a worldwide famous club, and you can't go in there and sort of just fleece them. Giving them an extra €3 million above the above the release clause is a really smart way of sort of networking, so to speak, and building a relationship with one of the most talented developers of youth football in the country. You bear in mind that Boca Juniors and Independiente and other clubs like that will be paying attention to what Manchester City do. And all of a sudden, you've got all those Argentinian clubs potentially thinking, let's try and deal with Manchester City if anyone else comes through, because they'll be nice of us. They'll look after us. That, to me, is powerful. And that, to me, is sensible. And that, to me, indicates wonderful management. Cheeky knows what he's doing here, by the way. It really, really does. Now, I was reading a little bit of his background. Apparently, he got the headlines when at 11 years of age, he represented River Plate in a tournament in Italy. He scored 9 goals in 6 games, became known amongst the club's fan base as El Diablito, the little devil. 6 years later, he made his senior debut, a 3-1 win against Instituto. He came on after 63 minutes. So he basically he started really, really young. Now, apparently, he did sort of annoy some River Plate fans because he made his intention to leave very early and very public, which sort of annoyed the fans because they were like, well, Alvarez got his head down and carried him playing, didn't stay out, even though he wanted to go probably. He was sensible enough to just keep quiet. Well, Echeverri sort of said he wanted to move on to Europe. I mean, fair enough. That's absolutely fine. But you keep it quiet. It says a lot, though, about his quality that he was actually Argentinian captain. And number 10 as Argentina's captain at the Under-17 World Cup. They finished 3rd in the South American Championships that year. He was joint top goal scorer of the tournament with 5 goals. He made headlines as well for his individual impact in attacking midfield role. Obviously, the passion in Argentina, especially with one number 10 stepping down, is fever pitch always. So he's already said that he's feeling the pressure a little bit there, despite breaking into senior football only like literally weeks ago. He's very aware of the expectation placed on his shoulders. And the thing is, when you're that young and you're doing that wonderful for the Argentina's youth teams, unfortunately, you will become a household name very quickly. And obviously, now that he's signed... for Manchester City, that expectation will rise and rise and rise. Apparently, on his debut, he was absolutely excellent. He sprung onto the pitch in his bright orange boots, looking completely unfazed by the occasion. He started causing issues immediately for the opposition, ducking and weaving through the defensive lines and pulling players out of position and opening up passing lanes for River to play some wonderful, expansive football. And apparently, within minutes, he got an assist as well for River's 3rd goal of the night. Picked up the ball on the right, had men free inside, but decided to ignore those and instead turn inside. A quick change of pace, he found a yard and picked his pass, 3-1, game over. Any normal kid would have probably played the safe ball there, but not on him. He went for it. And he carried on doing it. He made 29 touches in his half an hour cameo, completing 20 successful passes from 23. It was like a glimpse of the future. Apparently, reading this from an article about him right now, another moment of magic on the left wing saw him bamboozle the opposing fullback with a great dummy before he cut dangerously inside. Really exciting player. Really exciting player. A lot is expected of him, and I can't wait to see how he develops here. Guys, please give the video a like, by the way, and please help support the channel. It is massively appreciated every single time one of you guys watch it. I am closing in on 70k as well. I'm trying to look at the numbers I've got right now. Yeah, I need like 1,000 more to get to 70k. So, guys, let's get there as soon as we can. And everyone watching live, go on your phone, give the video a like. Let's get to 200 likes. 243 people watching. we can get the like as well. That's a good point. He has got the same smirk as Haaland, the little confident smirk as Haaland there. But I'm very excited for this. I like that City are paying attention to all these young talents. They're getting ahead of the game. And this guy, by all reports and all intents and purposes, seems like a really special young footballer. Obviously, there's a long way to go. We'll have to see how it goes. And I don't know if he'll be at River Plate until December 2024 or just the summer. I suspect a lot of that will be decided when the season is finished. City will decide what to do with him. My honest guess is that if he does really well and continues playing for River Plate, they'll bring him in the summer and have a closer look and then decide where he's at. And after that, I reckon they'll go either to Argentina, or back on loan, or they'll go to Girona, or who knows, he might get lucky and he might stay with Manchester City Football Club. I think this is a little bit different as well than Maximo Peroni. I think he's seen as a bigger talent than that. Peroni was seen as a little bit of a punt, like a good talented player, but one that's still got a long way to go. Whereas this seems to be more of a superstar potential signing, like the next wonderkid level. We will see. But either way, Echeverri, keep an eye on him. This guy is an exciting young talent with a lot going for him and the weight of the world on his shoulders already. But he seems to be able to handle it. Young, slight, only 18 years old, but a fantastic little talent. And fingers crossed he'll make a name for himself at Manchester City Football Club. Guys, let me know, of course, what you make of Claudio Echeverri. Will we see him in a City shirt ever? Is he the real deal? How good can he be? If you've watched him before, like Paro Miguel Escobardo has in the chat. Sorry, Paro Miguel Escobardo. He's been commenting quite a lot about him. He's obviously a fan, has watched him. If you watched him, of course, please let me know down in the chat. It would be massively appreciated. It would be hugely appreciated, guys. You're all absolutely superstars. Thank you very much. I will chat tomorrow morning about the rumours about Kimmich going around. And, of course, there's some rumours potentially about Calvin Phillips going away as well. We will see how that goes. For now, though, have a wonderful evening. Check out the other videos. I did a video asking about Oscar Bob. That would be appreciated. Like this video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And have a wonderful rest of your evening.